In today's episode, we'll take you around the most attractive locations in Šibenik and its surroundings, the Krka and Kornati National Parks, and the beautiful island of Murter, where we will enjoy gastronomic delights. Make yourself comfortable because a new episode of Wind Masters Croatia is starting. We sail through the channel of St. Ante, next to one of the most enthralling military fortresses in the Adriatic, the Fortress of St. Nicholas. This interesting triangular-shaped fortress was built in the middle of the 16th century at the narrow entrance to the canal, and traffic from the Adriatic to Šibenik could be completely monitored from it. In front of us is the beautiful old town of Šibenik. Šibenik is one of the oldest Croatian cities. It is mentioned for the first time in the document of one of the greatest Croatian rulers, King Petar Krešimir IV. It acquired the status of a city in 1290, with the establishment of the Šibenik diocese. After a period of rule by Croatian and Croatian-Hungarian rulers in the 15th century, Šibenik came under the rule of Venice and remained under it for almost 4 centuries. In that period, Šibenik experienced a cultural and commercial boom. On the hill above the city is the magnificent fortress of St. Mihovil. It was built from the 15th to the 17th centuries and served as one of the main defensive points of the city, from which the entire Šibenik Canal and land approaches to the city were monitored. The view from the fortress of Šibenik and the surrounding area is worth the climb. The fortress has a summer stage where concerts and other cultural events are held, and it is especially attractive for film screenings under the clear sky. On the ground floor of the fortress, there is an exhibition of objects from which you will be able to learn a lot more about the history of the fortress itself, but also about Šibenik. On the top of the hill, 115 meters high, there is another fortress, St. Ivan. It was built in the 17th century as a land defense of the city against Turkish attacks. Right next to it is the fourth fortress, with certainly the best view of all, the Barone Fortress. It was built on a hill 80 meters above the sea in the 17th century and provided excellent protection against the Ottoman threat. Enemy cannons were resisted by bastions reinforced with earth drifts. The most beautiful and most famous building in Šibenik is certainly the monumental Cathedral of St. Jakov, which was included in UNESCO's list of World Cultural Heritage in 2000. Construction began in the 15th century and lasted more than 100 years. The cathedral is unique in the world because it was built exclusively of stone without any binding material. One of the main builders whose skill is woven into this masterpiece is Juraj Dalmatinac from Zadar. The cathedral is also special in that it was started in the Gothic style and finished in the Renaissance style. Juraj Dalmatinac is responsible for the construction of 4 wells on the square of the same name, which were the main sources of drinking water in the Middle Ages. Šibenik is a city with 24 churches and 6 monasteries. One of the more interesting ones is the Church of St. Ivan, with a belfry in which a Turkish clock with one hand, delivered from Drniš, is installed. The old city center is full of beautiful medieval houses and palaces. The attention given to pets in Šibenik in the past is clearly shown by dog watering cans built into the facade of a medieval house. Šibenik is also the host of the International Children's Festival, which since 1958 has been a kind of review of the best in creativity for children and by children. The town of Murter was first mentioned in the 13th century, under the name Veliko Selo. In the 18th century, it got its current name. At the foot of Gradina Hill lie the remains of the Roman city of Colentum. It is assumed that it was attacked and destroyed by pirates in the 2nd century. On Cape Gradina, there is a local cemetery and the Church of Our Lady in Gradina from the 17th century. Old Croatian graves were found in the cemetery. Although Murter was mostly a rural settlement, culture was highly nurtured. So in 1866, one of the first reading rooms in the Croatian language in Dalmatia was founded in Murter. Murter is the entrance to the Kornati National Park. Kurnatari, as the inhabitants of Murter are called, are the owners of almost all 150 islands in the Kornati National Park. For centuries, they built stone walls on their properties and cultivated the ungenerous land here. The main city beach in Murter is Luka Beach. In the immediate vicinity, there are several more beautiful beaches and coves where you can enter by boat and enjoy all-day swimming and sunbathing. The most popular beach for families with children is located in Slanica Bay. There are many cafes and fast food establishments on the beach, so it's not difficult to spend the whole day here. We were amazed by the beautiful color of the sea, which changes from turquoise to deep blue. Considering the amount of people and the crowd on the beach, this is not a beach for those who like to swim, but more for play in warm shallows, ideal for smaller children. For those who are not fans of frolicking in the shallows, but prefer the crystal clear sea in which they can swim and enjoy unhindered, Podvrške Beach is a real treat. Partly sand and part pebble and rock, this beach is a favorite gathering place of the locals. It is hidden from the public eye, and a path along the sea leads to the beach. The beach extends over several coves. The island of Murter is known for its top-quality figs. Considering that the hosts take them for granted, the fig trees in the very center of town are full of sweet fruits that you can freely pick. There is nothing sweeter than eating fruit straight from the tree. Of course, don't overdo it and enter private property without asking. But the unwritten rule is that those fruits that can be picked from the road belong to tourists anyway. It is best to look for specialties of this healthy delicacy in local restaurants. One of the restaurants that we definitely have to recommend because of its distinctive and interesting offering of dishes that are a combination of traditional, international, and modern cuisine is located in a small, narrow street in the center of Murter. Boaters will be delighted by the Captain's Club, where they can enjoy top-quality homemade lavender and oil gins and other interesting drinks, prepared carefully and professionally by excellent bartenders. And the food. What can we say about the food, except that everything here is anything but boring? Whether you order cream of shrimp soup with rosehip foam, cream of almond and truffle soup, sea bass fillet on a bed of fregula with black cuttlefish, purple sweet potato gnocchi with prawns, tuna on wasabi puree with black polenta sponge with cuttlefish and lemon foam, or gravlax with salmon marinated in beets on avocado and a mix of green salads. For sweets lovers, there is millefeuille with vanilla and lavender, and other desserts based on the inspiration and imagination of the head chef, Grazia. Boaters will find their safe haven in the marina in the center of Murter, which has 370 berths in the sea and 120 on land. Marina Hramina and Murter are recognizable nautical destinations, rising in quality every year by creating a unique offering for sailors who recognize the safety of the port, the beauty of the sea and land, and cuisine. The marina also offers its own charter so that guests who are not boat owners can get to know the destination, which offers numerous sea and land thrills. Hramina is an excellently organized and maintained marina. It provides boaters with the highest standard of services and plentiful facilities. A restaurant, bar, parking, accommodation rooms, laundry, mini market, nautical equipment store, top services, service for boats, scooter and boat rental, a very nice beach for guests of the marina, and more.
We are in position close hauling. We want to come to the position broad reach. We need to bear away, to move away from the wind. As we move away from the wind, we release the sails. So we go with the boat down the wind and follow with the sails. Now I will use autopilot because I'm doing it single-handed. First, we'll do with the main sheet or main sail. I'm bearing away with the boat and just following with the sails. We don't want to release the sails at all completely once we start. We just want to follow the boat. Once the main sail is released, we can start releasing jib. Okay, sails are released. Now we are going in broad reach. We are sailing in broad reach.
We are sailing into a real paradise for sailors. The Kornati Islands National Park. Kornati consists of a group of 140 islands, islets, and rocks that make up an incredibly beautiful landscape, ideal for sailing and enjoying literally untouched nature. From the smallest rock with an area of only 4 square meters to the largest island, in Kornati, with an area of 32 square kilometers, every islet and every rock has its own story. In the heart of Kornati National Park, there is one of the most exquisite bays with a beautiful marina that captivates at first sight with the beautiful color and clarity of the sea. Entry to the national park is free for all guests of the Aci Marina Piškera, which is a great opportunity to see this paradise. Aci Marina Piškera offers mooring for 118 boats up to 40 meters long. Since the sea is quite shallow, the depth of the sea at the jetties is 2.5 to 3.5 meters, which can cause serious problems for inexperienced crews. Given its location and distance from the mainland, this is primarily a transit marina that is open from the beginning of April to the end of October. Not far from Šibenik, upstream along the Krka River, is one of the most beautiful national parks in Croatia, Krka National Park. It covers almost the entire area along the Krka River, which rises at the foot of the Dinara mountain near Knin, flows through a 75-kilometer-long canyon, through Prokljansko Lake, and into Šibenik Bay. Skradinski Buk, the longest waterfall on the Krka River and also the longest tufa barrier in Europe, is one of the most famous natural wonders of Croatia. The waterfall is formed by tufa barriers, islands, and lakes. It can be visited all year round, thanks to the network of paths and bridges, which enable a pleasant and safe walk. At Skradinski Buk waterfall, there are restored mills, rolling mills, and pillars, which have been harnessing the power of the water for centuries. While respecting the spirit of the traditional architecture here, some mills have been arranged as souvenir shops, while others have been turned into exhibition spaces for the ethnographic collection. The island of Visovac is one of the most important natural and cultural treasures of Croatia. Since 1445, the Franciscan Monastery of Our Lady of Mercy and the Church of Our Lady of Visovac have been located on it, which together with the beautiful landscape of Visovac Lake form a unique ambient unit. During turbulent times, Visovac was and remained an island of peace and prayer, and the Franciscan monastery a fortress of spirituality and faith. Roški Slap is the name given to a vast waterfall that consists of 22.5-meter high main waterfalls and countless backwaters, cascades, and tufa islands. Roški Slap waterfall is located about 36 kilometers downstream from the source of the Krka River. The beginning of the barrier consists of a series of small cascades, popularly called Ogrlice, followed by numerous backwaters and islets. A true wonder of nature. The complex of watermills at Roški Slap waterfall is among the most interesting and prized ethnographic monuments in Dalmatia and Croatia. 47 kilometers of walking trails in Krka National Park and the stunning viewpoints, along with 388 kilometers of cycling routes, are the best way to see the landscape and wealth of flora and fauna of the aquatic and terrestrial habitats, and to get a true experience of the nature that encompasses all of the senses. Post offices have long been places where you can get lots of things done, not just send a letter, package, or telegram, pay bills, or get parcels you've been notified to pick up. At post offices, you can buy tourist start packages, vouchers for mobile phones, and HATS ENS vouchers. Croatian Post also offers the service of selling and buying cryptocurrencies in 55 post offices. Vodice is a tourist center, known for its liveliness, variety of tourist offers, and friendly hosts. It is located on the coast in a wide bay 11 kilometers northwest of Šibenik. Translating freely from English, Vodice would mean something like small waters. And truly, everything in Vodice is to some extent connected with water. In ancient times, an important Roman trade route passed through the hinterland of Vodice, along which there were numerous settlements. At one of these sites, there is still a well-preserved Roman cistern that was used to collect rainwater and supply the population with drinking water. It's incredible that even after more than 2,000 years, this facility is in pretty good condition and fulfills its function. It still has drinking water. A bicycle is the best way to explore Vodice and its surroundings due to the large number of well-maintained and well-marked bicycle paths. For recreationalists, there are less demanding trails, but even the most skilled cyclists will find excellent red descents and very difficult climbs. Vodice is certainly best known for its beautiful beaches and clear sea. The Blue Beach is the favorite of guests with children due to its gentle slope and excellent offer of additional facilities. A white flag is flying on the beach, which is one step above the blue flag and indicates a superbly arranged and clean environment, above and below water. The most popular beach is located in front of the Hotel Olympia and can be enjoyed for most of the year thanks to the recently completed artificial lagoon, where the sea temperature is significantly warmer than in the surrounding sea. From Vodice to nearby Tribunj, you can walk along the newly renovated promenade, along which are nice beaches and facilities with additional offerings. The promenade stretches for 10 kilometers and is ideal for an evening walk, a ride on a bicycle or scooter, or simply running. The area of Vodice and neighboring islands has long been known for its top-quality olives. The quantity of these olives and the olive oil produced is not excessively high, but the quality is on the rise in recent years and it has reached the very top in the world. Given that there are numerous olive groves in Vodice and the surrounding area, there was a need for a modern oil mill that can process a large amount of olives in a short period of time, using the most modern methods while keeping the most important thing, the top quality of local extra virgin olive oil. Boaters will certainly be intrigued by the nearby island of Prvić and the Museum of Faust Vrancić, a great philosopher and inventor from the 16th century. His stay on the island of Prvić shaped his childhood and inspired him with curiosity and inventiveness. He later described his inventions inspired by the way of life on the island in the book Macchine Nove. Olive mills, grape presses, and a sundial are just some of the machines that marked Faust's reflections on how to get the best of nature. Olive oil, wine, time. The most famous inventions such as bridges, mills, presses, clocks, parachutes attract attention with their functionality and are the forerunners of modern machines. Inspired by his inventions, the way of life, and the time in which he lived, we invite you to get out of everyday life and experience something new and different. In the very center of Vodice is a marina that is among the best equipped and most beautiful on the Adriatic. As it continuously strives to improve its offer, Vodice has become a leading tourist center on the Šibenik Riviera, hosting 40,000 guests during the summer months. It is therefore not surprising that the AC Marina Vodice is one of the favorite meeting places of sailors looking for an active holiday, fun, and various pleasures. It is protected by 2 breakwaters and is open all year round. Vodice is well connected with the rest of the region by a highway and an Adriatic road. There are 2 international airports, Zadar and Split, nearby, which further add to the attractiveness of this destination. The marina has 398 moorings in the sea and 24 on land for ships with a maximum length of 25 meters. A 10-ton crane and 60-ton travel lift are available to guests for boat repairs. There is a fuel station within the marina so guests can refuel on the spot before setting off to discover the surroundings. Due to the multitude of islands and islets, and above all the proximity of the Krka and Kornati national parks, the Vodice marina is an ideal starting point and place to hold a boat. Toilet and shower facilities in the marina are of the highest standard, with special care for people with disabilities. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We wish you a safe journey and make sure to leave out any bananas in port before you embark. Why? We'll explain in the next episode.